extreme pressure and literally move sand around the bottom pillars of the bridge like sandpaper across the bottom. It cost the bridge $500,000 roughly to have the bridge inspected, including that every 2 to 3 years. The bridge was completed in 1952. It was built to last 80 years. That makes it 72 years old. Before this new board came in, we were facing several obstacles, including our credit rating being diminished because of our single source of revenue and the lack of that revenue changing and costs rising. We've corrected that. Now we have an excellent credit rating. Yes, we've increased the cost by increasing the toll. However, we've implemented Easy Pass, we've done several improvements, and we have major capital improvements coming up. Now, when we look at the overall cost for the bridge, again, changes in the toll activity versus what our expenses are as they grow will allow us to analyze how we will allocate funds toward these projects.
But my question, I'm sorry, respectfully, you didn't answer my question. And that's what I faced years ago. In 2020-21, you had a ratio of cash to debt of 1.6 times. 60% more than the 5 bridges that operate on the Hudson River. In 2 years after your $23 million of capital spend is to be paid for, not by pay-as-you-go, not by private-public partnership, not by issuing debt. Those are the 3 ways that everyone pays for capital projects. But you've decided to increase tolls to pay for the capital spending over 4 years. It's never been done. I'm not here to talk about that. I'm taking that off the table. I'm making a statement, a factual statement. I've looked at your numbers.
So what is your question?
My question is, why have you been able to increase your cash balances? Like today, your cash to debt ratio is over 2 times, and no one else has a ratio like that. How has that been possible? I know the answer. I'd like to see if you know the answer.
Of course I know the answer. We've increased the tolls. And while at first, when we increased the tolls, there was a dip in revenue, because of the convenience of Easy Pass, the revenue has exceeded because now our path crosses have increased due to convenience of not having to use.
Okay, I'll give you the answer. The answer is for 70 years, you had an EBITDA ratio, EBITDA to sales, of 30%. The average bridge authority has an EBITDA ratio of 47%. So for all those years, you were undercharging for the tolls. Let's give you the facts. We don't have to shake our heads.
I'm not shaking. I'm agreeing with you. We were under.
Being respectful, I should deserve respect too.
I'm nodding in agreement.
You had a 30% EBITDA ratio, and then all of a sudden, in 2023, you increased the tolls by 72%, and the EBITDA ratio went to 61%. Bridges have EBITDA ratios of 47%. So right now, that's the number. What's the number?
I'm not arguing the point.
You knew the
I know the numbers. I know what they are.
So the fact that you've increased the EBITDA ratio, your cash flow ratio, from 30% to 61%, and this year, the run rate of your cash EBITDA ratio is 68%. And next year is going to go to 70%. And everyone else does 47%. That cash flow that you're taking off of the people coming through the bridge is giving you the ability to fund $5.5 million a year in CapEx and debt service and build up your cash balances. Right now, this month, your cash balance will increase by $150,000. The average person coming across that bridge can't buy a refrigerator. And you're sitting here every single day, your cash balance in your cash account increases by $5,000. I'm not asking for you not to do the work on the bridge. I think the work on the bridge is incredible. In the first 70 years of this bridge existence, the bridge put in $65 million to capital projects. $65 million over 70 years, less than $1 million per year. You're putting $23 million over 4 years. Fantastic. All being paid for currently. But that's not the way it's done. it's done on a pay-as-you-go method, or a debt issuance method, or a private-public partnership. In the end of 2 years, the $23 million program will be over. You'll still be generating millions of dollars, at least $7 million a year of operating cash flow, no capital spending, $800,000 of debt service. That's lots of cash, and you're sitting right now with $16 million in cash and $7 million of debt. It's just not, it's not right. It's not right for the people.
That's your, okay, it's your opinion about that, and hold on.
It's
There are many other factors. When you look at bridges, what you need to understand about the bridges also is there are multiple sources that bridges are funded from other than tolls, unlike this authority.
Not the New York State Bridge Authority.
Which
Not the New York State Bridge Authority.
that's completely only funded by tolls.
Do you know the Bridge Authority?
Of course I
Do you know
know.
the bridges it operates?
Yes, I do.
Which
Yes,
are
I
the
do.
5?
Broad's Neck Bridge?
No,
Which bridge is it?
sorry,
Okay.
sorry, maybe if you knew that, sorry.
No.
Maybe if you, does not operate the Whitestone Bridge or the Frohlinger.
That's Port Authority.
Correct. It operates the 5 bridges north of the Tappan Zee Bridge. It doesn't operate the Winkle Bridge, the Newburgh Bridge, all the bridges up to Albany. Those 5 bridges generate their revenue exactly the way you do, by charging tolls. They have a 47% EBITDA margin, and you've got an EBITDA margin going to 70, because you charge too much. To give another fact, you have a projection this year, 2024, which you've updated in September. September was 2 months ago, that your revenue this year on the bridge is gonna be up by 3%. That's your numbers. So on your website, year to date, on your numbers you publish on the website, the first 7 months, your revenue is up 26%. Through the period of time that you say is challenging, summer, it's up 26%. There's no way that your revenue this year is gonna come out at the 3% increase that you're projecting. And you came up with a projection in September, given the fact you had July numbers. It's clear that financially, no one's looking at the numbers. So if you ask me, as people, it's clear. If someone looked at the numbers, they would say, wait a second, we're putting out a budget September 30. Maybe we should look at the first 7 months numbers. But you didn't. You didn't. Because your revenue is up 26%.
I'm not debating this. You don't understand all the facts of how we're actually financing the bridge and the authority. You don't
I
understand.
understand the numbers, and I understand that you're sitting
I'm happy
with the cash.
Barry, we've had these discussions before, and I'm happy again. I'm not gonna do it in this form. We gave you 2 minutes. You've been here for 20 almost minutes now, okay? It's not an argument, okay?
I think the
We have,
public deserves.
can I speak now? We have auditors, we have independent, financial auditors looking at our books, okay? We work with the county, we make decisions on how to fund the projects of the bridge and to maintain the bridge, okay? First of all, in terms of what the other bridge authorities do and how they fund and what they do, those bridges are far north, those bridges are over fresh water, not on salt water. They don't have the maintenance requirements of a bridge like this one. So in order for the board to operate fiscally independent of any sort of government financing, we view our revenue numbers and our trips coming across the bridge as the sole source